is almost ready. We're going live. When storms arrive, we go left. With eyes on the sky, we stand by your side. Through the wind and the rain, through the thunder's call. Hutch is weather, we're here for it all. Standing strong with you, no matter the storm. Anywhere, anytime, at hutchesweather.com. We're live! Now here's Chief Meteorologist.
And hello, everybody. Meteorologist Hutch Johnson joining you. Hey, we've got some serious weather heading our way. A blizzard warning on the heels of a day that saw winds gusting nearly 100 and over 100 miles per hour in a few areas. We'll have details on that, your current conditions, and a detailed look at the forecast. We'll step through everything. And here is where you can scan the QR codes to download Hutch's brand spanking new weather app. Tonight, coming up at 9 o'clock, I have a live scheduled for another huge announcement. I hope you can join me then. But let's talk weather. Let's get started right now.
Now, a Hutch's weather update with Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson, brought to you by Robert Gibb and Sons.
All right, as we get going, we do have a batch of rain making its way through the central part of the Dakotas. Now it's pretty heavy. Now temperatures have been above freezing in the south, and that's number one why we're getting rain. And yeah, Janice says the wind is starting to pick up in Brockton, Montana. Good to have you on there. And that's from the Nygards. Mike, good to have you on board as well. Thank you so much. These are wind reports across the region. Already ripping winds, heavy rain. Now, is this going to flash freeze? Well, it's going to be a while before that north wind and the cold takes hold. So with any luck at all, we're going to see a little bit of drying going on. But if there's slushy roads or roads with snow on the side of them, this rain is going to soak and make a concoction that's going to turn into ice cement as we go through. From Winnipeg through Brandon, we've seen snow that stretches all the way out north of the International Falls, Minnesota area, and it's sneaking into the Arrowhead of Minnesota. We're going to talk about this. Sean, 90 mile per hour gusts. What? You got that right. The National Weather Service has portions of North Dakota in the area advised for 90 plus mile per hour gusts. Here in the valley, I think we see some 70 mile per hour gusts. In the Red River Valley and central parts of South Dakota are in for some serious gusts as well. So this is what we have going on right now, and this is good old-fashioned rain, and a lot of it right through the basically the Lake Sakakawea area, heading over Highway 83 corridor, Minot as well. And I just got a report from a friend, Froda. Good to see you. Thank you for your update. Rain reported out there in the Highway 2 category. Clint, good to have you on from the YouTube channel. Thanks so much for watching. A little bit of it starting to change over to snow already near the international border, according to the radar. Now, I do want to share with you that any radar you see is making an estimate of what it thinks is falling, because we can't see what's making its way down to the ground anyways with the radar as the beam shoots up at an angle. So we're estimating what's falling down to the ground. So let's take a look at those road reports real quickly. And I want to remind you, you can get the latest road reports anytime, anywhere on the new weather app, Hutch's weather app. Search Hutch's weather in the App Store today. Now let's go ahead and see what we have going on here as we connect the computer to the app, and we'll go ahead and pop the app up as well. One thing to keep in mind on that app is that you're going to be able to see the road reports right at your fingertips, hour by hour forecast for your area if you let it track your location, and it will show you when the conditions will be and what they will be. For instance, this is locked into the Moorhead area right now. If you click on the currents tab, or the hourly tab, I should say, this is where it's big. How windy is it going to be for you? Let's use the app together to find out. You scroll down on the hour by hour forecast. We have a 40% chance of rain here now, and it increases to 80% by 8 p.m. Then as we go through, the wind's not so bad, sustained at 17, but it could be stronger. See the down arrow? Well, let's take that look at 9 o'clock tonight when we're talking again. So if we click on that little down arrow, it will open up the window, and it will show us that we will have a chance at seeing some gusts in the area that could be just a little bit on the wild side. Let me grab my cellular device here and see if I can get this to connect. Here we go. I'm not sure what's going on here with this, but we're going to get this solved, because as we take a look at what's going on here. Let's go overnight and into the morning hours. We see that the rain exits. We get a break. The wind starts picking up and boom, gusts, or not gusts, but sustained winds to 35 miles per hour with snow by the morning drive. So let's go into that as that snow chance picks up at 10 a.m. And let's look at the current conditions. See the wind gusts, 55. You can do this for your area too. This is model data, but it gives you an idea of when the conditions are likely to decrease. Be terrible. So you can take a look at the app with regards to that. Click the triple dots at the top and the home screen, and you then can go back to the home page to look at the latest road conditions across the region. And if you scroll down just a little bit farther, you'll see more information all at your fingertips, including on the map. If you go to the map, you're going to see, well, what looks like here. I'm waiting for this. Okay, if we go to the map, you're going to have the ability to look at power outages. Click this if it says national radar. And when you click on that, you'll be able to take it to a menu here where you can pick the overlay that you want. See state power outages right there. So that's a look at the app. Now let's get talking about what's going on with our weather conditions across the region. Again, we do already have some reports of some significant gusts. Let's go to the national view. Look at this, Rocky Mountains ripped by wind. You saw my report earlier. We got some reports of wind that exceeded 120 miles per hour in the mountains of Wyoming on the border there with Idaho. But look at this, all the way across the northern reaches of the Rockies here. Blaine, Montana, 73 mile per hour gusts. We did have some that were over 90 miles per hour. Here's 87 in Whitlash, Montana, 10 miles east-southeast of there. Heading into Miles City, 58 to 60 mile per hour gusts taking place. The Black Hills and western South Dakota seeing winds upwards of 50 to 60 miles per hour there, even near 70. The mountains of Wyoming through the Saddle in Rawlins, we're talking about wind gusts around 60 on the I-80 corridor. Laramie, we're talking about a 71 mile per hour gust there. And look at this, the Mile High City, the metro area there, as you go up Highway 36 between Denver and Boulder, Colorado, things there looking mighty rocky at Rocky Flats. We had some wind gusts there causing damage, as well as reports of 90 plus mile per hour gusts in and around the area. How about 109 miles per hour, 3 miles northwest of Marshall? And that's heading our way. So let's get to the details. Let's talk facts and let's talk what we know. Number one, we know that the system is producing rain. We know it's 6:03, and we know that those showers are now focused in the central Dakotas, snow in parts of Manitoba. Here's the main wind event that's coming around the backside of it that will be pushing through. So areas that are in this blizzard warning that we've been detailing for you look like this. The pink area that you see here, that is the blizzard warned area. That does include northeast Montana all the way to northwest Minnesota, all the way along the Highway 2 corridor. That's where we'll get a little bit more appreciable snow with the system. And this is a model running through with our rain changing over to snow. Boom, morning hours, that snow gets heavy at times too, folks, in places. Models are still not all in agreement here, and that's something to keep in mind. There could still be some challenges with this forecast with regards to snowfall amounts. And let's just be flat out honest. It's going to be terribly difficult to measure. So now let's tear the system apart here, hour by hour style. And what we're going to do is we're going to look at the hour by hour forecast model that Hutch has picked out. And really, I think is handling the system the most best. So we'll take a look at that right now. Now, as we put this into motion, you're going to notice a couple of things. Number one, here's our rain showers moving through the central part of the state now. And the time is perfect, 6 p.m. right through the central part of the state. Snow mainly north of Highway 1 in parts of the Canadian provinces up to the north here. Now, we do have a little break in the precipitation, and then it's back on. Where does the rain go and when? As we put this into motion, it's in the valley as we go through the overnight. This is midnight. So we're going to have some rain showers this evening, increasing chances around 8 p.m. in the Red River Valley and western Minnesota. Our ground is cold, and some of this could cause frosty and cold roads to become very icy tonight. Be where you want to be by 10 o'clock tonight, because it only gets worse. The isobars are getting close together. Look at what's going on here. These isobars are practically touching. That, by the way, theoretically cannot happen if they touch. But at any rate, let's go on. That's where the wind will be the strongest as we head through midnight tonight. We're talking about Wolf Point, Montana. We're talking about you folks in Glasgow, Montana. And yes, That's you too up there in Poplar, Montana and Brockton, Montana. Ripping winds, midnight. You're going to hear this stuff. And yes, we could see some gusts to 90 miles per hour with this tight of a gradient of pressure, change of pressure. It's going to come with a shot of snow as well. So keep that in mind. Montana Highway 2 corridor heading into Sydney, heading into Williston as well. Are we getting a 90 mile per hour wind, Teresa? No. In Moorhead, I do not think so, but I think 60 is not out of the question from the north. These winds will become northerly. That's where the wind will be the strongest at midnight tonight. Here we set this into motion. Notice this model showing a band of snow, Highway 200 and points north as we go through the overnight, and the wind starts changing directions from quiet and westerly to not quiet and northerly. If you're in Brandon, Manitoba, Winkler, Manitoba, also out towards Winnipeg, all the way out towards Thunder Bay, you're going to get wind and snow, but your wind's going to be coming from the east and northeast, okay? Here's those gusty winds now ripping through the north part of the Theodore Roosevelt Park, as well as Medora, as well as, well, Billings, Golden Valley County, straight down into Bowman and Adams County for you folks in Lemon and Hettinger. Watch where this very tight isobar or gradient of wind goes. Right through near Bismarck, right down into Bowman, right there on that Regent area for you folks out there. And this goes right into South Dakota. Meanwhile, look at what's going on here. This model is now showing a little bit more snow in northern parts of North Dakota than it was earlier. So this could mean we're going to have a better chance at some accumulating snow for anywhere along and north of Highway 200 in North Dakota and Highway 200 as well in Minnesota. That could be significant. Let's continue. Winds north, you're talking 6 a.m. You're getting ready to drive to work and school, northern Minnesota. It's not good. We have blizzard-like conditions that will be likely in this area. Blinding areas of locally heavy snow will be possible as we go through, and we'll carry this through as the storm works its way through places like Grand Rapids, Walker, and Bemidji. You'll start to see your onset of snow as we go into the midday hours. So very strong winds cutting out of the north, gusts to 60 miles per hour in the valley and parts of North Dakota where there's very few trees to stop it. Get into the trees. We're going to have 50 to 60 mile per hour gusts for you in areas at times where the isobars are really kissing and close together. Then as we let this thing roll out, and this is the heading towards your dinner hour here, 3 to 6 p.m., the snowfall starts to exit and fall apart just a little bit, but the wind keeps ripping. You'll have decreasing winds in Montana and western North Dakota as we head into your afternoon and evening, allowing things to be moving in the right direction. Douglas Herzog, thank you very much for the kind words about the app. Britt, thank you very much. Britt 1010 from Dickinson, good to see you from Stark County. Richardson and Taylor, hi to you as well. Ethan, good to have you as well on, and it's windy in Dilworth indeed. Thank you for the report. Grand Forks schools called it for tomorrow, so we get a snow day. Officially a snow day, says Valerie. Thank you very much. Jake, thank you very much. What's it looking like for Hannaford and Jamestown area? 5:30 in the morning. Well, let's back this up to 5:30 in the morning. Here is 5 o'clock in the morning, gusty wind, not a lot of snowfall in your area. Okay, we're talking a trace to a half inch. And then as we go into the afternoon, we could get some accumulation here mid-morning into the afternoon in the James River Valley. So let's take a look at this model's forecast snow. But I do want to say, here's Hutch's forecast, and I'm going to stick with this, and I'll have an update a little bit later. What I want to point out here is the pink areas are where we could have storm level snow approaching 8 or more inches of snow in some spots. Look at War Road. Look at Roseau. You're in that pink area, as is Badette, right into the Rainy River Valley. Okay, all of you along the northern tier, that's where the best chance at storm level snowfall amounts are. Now, sneaking down to Grand Forks, we have significant snow quickly ramping up between 2 inches and storm level snow. South of Grand Forks, more like measurable snow, but I say measurable with tongue in cheek because, folks, it's going to be hard to measure this snow. There's just no question about it. At first, it'll stick. Thanks for loving the weather app, Kathy. I appreciate you very much. Check it out, the hills. Now, let's look back at that model that we were just looking at to see what the latest is with regards to this snowfall potential. So I'm going to go back to the model that I was showing. Let's just double check and make sure it's the same unit. Yep. Okay. So The American models have been hinting at a little bit more of a southerly track to the heavy band. That's not good for Winkler. It's not good for Winnipeg, and it's not good for northwest Minnesota and the northern Red River Valley here, as you can see. This model, then, as we take a look, just to show you that we still have some differences, and I'll give you my gut feeling on this system as we go through here as well. Now you're looking at snowfall potential, and as we go into this, look at that, Grand Forks. So this model now has changed its song and dance just a little bit with having heavier snow potential in northern parts of the Red River Valley and northwest Minnesota, anywhere from 6 inches to a foot. So stay tuned. Coming up later tonight, I will make a call on this, but right now it looks like we could have a little bit more of a southern impact to some of that heavier snow in northern Minnesota in particular, from Walhalla through you folks in Kennedy, all right, in Kitson County. How about Thief River Falls? It looks like a sledding weather out there as well, but no traveling weather, as we do have that chance to see some of you with some power outage issues as well, because the wind, as you saw, with the snow will be at its worst here in our region in the wee hours of the morning through about 2 in the afternoon, and then we'll have decreasing impacts heading into the nighttime hours as this snow quickly moves off to the east along with the gustiest of the winds. So as we map out these winds, let's take a look at this as well. There's your snowfall, and again, anyone in our northern tier counties will have rapidly increasing snow amounts from Grand Forks and points north. And then we should see decreasing amounts to the south the way things are looking. Here's the winds in the morning when you wake up. Look at this ridiculousness right through the Northern Valley, 60 to 70 mile per hour gusts, not out of the question at times, not the entire time. In these areas of yellow and red that you see here, we'll likely see 50 mile per hour gusts. Wind will just be getting going at 6 a.m. as we start our morning out here in Grand Forks. And in Fargo, the wind is on the doorstep. Look out Valley City and Jamestown first thing in the morning as well. 6 a.m. winds will be ripping. Look at Rapid City. So the best chance at 90 mile per hour winds will be in the overnight hours through Dickinson, through Bismarck, and points south into the Bowman area. For you folks in Sioux and Grant County, the Regent area, as we go into Corson County, Ziebach County in South Dakota, and right into the Black Hills, that's where things look to be the worst in the morning. Then as we head into the afternoon hours here, let me see if I have that up here for us. Let me see, where did I put that? I know I had the midday wind speeds as well. Let's just put it here. I got to go grab the right image. My apologies. I thought I had all of this stuff straightened out and ironed out. Here we go. All right. Now you can see that as we head into that noon time frame, more on the noon time frame, that's when the wind gets to be the worst here. So we'll have increasing winds from 6 a.m. to noon in the valley. This shifts into Minnesota as we get into the early afternoon hours. That's you folks out there in Ada, Mahnomen, Bagley, Bemidji, Red Lake area, all the way down into parts near, well, let's call it Lakes Country here for Becker and Ottertail counties in the early afternoon. That's when the winds will have the best chance at seeing some 60 to 70 mile per hour gusts. James River Valley down towards Aberdeen looks like the afternoon and midday hours will be quite windy indeed. I'm getting close to where we're going to field some questions, but I do want to point this out. This is what it may look like on area roads, and this is what well, that's the morning forecast. Let's go back to this. What it might look like on area roads is going to be very tricky for travelers. We want you to stay home. Do not travel if you do not have to throughout the day tomorrow. That means in eastern North Dakota and western Minnesota and most of northern Minnesota and most of northern North Dakota, there's going to be places where you have zero visibility. 70 mile per hour gusts coming out of the north will topple tractor trailers. It'll blow you off the road. It's going to be icy in spots. And again, zero visibility. If you must travel, you want to keep abreast of the latest situation with road closings, cancellations, and what the roads look like, but you also must have a survival kit. And make sure in a situation like this, you have enough things in your survival kit to stay warm should you become stranded by the roadside in a blizzard. Never leave your car. I'm going to say that again. Never leave your car. In a blizzard, we tend to walk away from the wind if it's in our face, and it steers us, and we think we're walking one way, and then we're lost. Never leave your car. Stay with the car. If your car becomes stranded, you got to have something in your survival kit to stay warm. Matches and candles are why those are on the list. If your engine stops, if you run out of gas because you've been stranded at the roadside for an extended amount of time, folks may not be able to get to you for hours. And because of that, it is imperative you stay with your vehicle. Have a fully charged cell phone. Don't be playing games in the car if you got stuck. Save that cell phone for the emergency of calling out and trying to let people know that you are off the side of the road and where you are. Do not get outside of the road. Do not stop on the road, and make sure that you have a shovel, you have extra blankets, you have medicines, first aid kit, and also blankets. I love those hand warmers. Stop by your favorite store tonight and get those if you have any inkling that you may be on the road, although I don't recommend it. So this is going to be one of have the potential for having people stranded on the road. And if a road becomes blocked because of a crash or some sort of incident or a road blockage, then sometimes we can get multiples of people stranded on the road overnight. This has happened a number of times. So top off your tank, says Jessica. Drop a comment and let me know if you have some tips here that Hutch missed. But that's a good one. Keep your tanks full. Don't say, I'm almost there, I'm not going to fill up. You stop and you fill that puppy up, because if you end on the roadside, you do not want to be out there stranded in weather like this. So again, blankets for everybody, hats and mittens are handy, jumper cables are handy. Make sure you have food and water for everybody in the vehicle out there. And I like to advertise that it's good to have a sack of nuts, just some food that doesn't freeze, but that's higher energy type food. So a lot of those kind of things, even some candy bars, are a good thing to put in your survival kit so that you have something for everybody with some protein in it and that doesn't freeze, that's easy for you to eat and stay warm. Please have the candles in the car as well. All right, now let's talk a little bit about the hour-by-hour forecast for these winds. We're going to go right back to it. We're going to go look at the northern plains, but I do want to show you that these winds have been impacting much of the central plains. So whether you're in Nebraska, South Dakota, even into Iowa, these winds are going to be screaming through your area. No, not the 90-mile-per-hour winds, but I do believe 50 to 70-mile-per-hour winds will be in order for many in the high plains states as well. All right. Let's get to it. Let's go to the hour-by-hour forecast. We're going to zoom into our region, and we're going to take a look at a high-resolution model, and we're going to talk about these winds. So as we plot this information, I got to change the plotted data here. So bear with me, if you will, for one moment. Okay, so what we're going to look for here is the gusts of wind. And I'm going to have to do this. This will take me just a hot second. Okay, now we're looking at the right model. I got to move the map in, but I had to log in as a... oh boy, there's Texas, by the way. Sorry about that. Okay, so now I'm moving this over so I'm not looking off to the side too much here. Okay, here's wind gusts. There we go. And now we're on the model that I want. And now what we're going to do is walk through time. So I'll go and load the loop here. There we go. All right. As we go through the night, the wind gets the strongest as we head into now dinner time to 7 p.m. Look at this, Montana, Glasgow and Point South, 50 to 80 mile per hour gusts will be rocking through the western parts of into western North Dakota as we head into the nighttime hours. So at 10 o'clock, it's crossing the border, South Dakota, North Dakota. Then as we continue this into motion, some of the strongest winds out of the west and northwest will be rocking through Buffalo, South Dakota. If you're in Belle Fourche to, well, out here in Gillette, Wyoming, Leeds, South Dakota as well. All of you, a great chance at seeing very strong and gusty winds. Still, our winds from the south and southwest here staying on the mild side here at 30 to 40 miles per hour. Some of these strongest gusts rock right through the Black Hills as we head into the morning time frame on Thursday. And then here we go with that low pressure system skirting up here near the north. Our snow chances increase here as we go into the mid-morning hours, and then the winds pick up. 40 to 60 mile per hour winds ripping right out of the valley from the north to south. 50 to 70 mile per hour possibility. This model keeps most of those stronger winds, though, 70 to 90 mile per hour down in parts of South Dakota. So let's keep that in mind. I like to keep an old trapper beef jerky sticks and pucks. That's a great idea, Jessica. Thank you for dropping comments like that. It's helpful for everybody. All right, kitty litter. Kitty litter. Excellent, excellent idea. And in fact, in this photo here, there's a bucket of it right there. So keep a little bucket of kitty litter or sand in there, because if you need to dig out and get out, that can come in handy. Stone Fit, thank you. Sherry, kitty litter for traction on ice. I appreciate that, Sherry Williams. Nanly Eckley. I hope I said that right. On the wind model, what causes the white area without strong winds that's in the center of low pressure. Those are non-gusts. So it doesn't mean it won't be breezy, but you were just looking at gusts in the pink area. So you know how the wind can kind of become less gusty. That's what you were seeing in those white areas. Great question. All right, let's see. Downtown Hermit says, make sure the exhaust pipe stays clear to avoid carbon monoxide poisoning. Another good point. And here's another one. Do not park with your grill of your car pointed into the north wind, because what happens is the north wind starts cramming snow into the engine compartment of your car, which can eventually cause the engine to stop running and seize. So if you can, put it at an angle, but do not have your tailpipe, and you do not want necessarily your engine to be facing right into the wind. So that's another thing. We've seen that before. Any road closures expected? It would not surprise me at all, FJEIFBW, of seeing some road closures as well. Now, keep in mind, as we take a look at what's going on up north, we're going to go on the North Dakota road report because there's some snow showing up on the radar up north. And indeed, we have the Botno area here with Kenmare area seeing some reports of icy roads taking place up there. It's awful dark in some of these parts, and as rural as they are, we're not going to see too much. But essentially, we do have wet roads reported where you see the blue here in North Dakota, and where you see yellow is, well, that's icy roads. Here's Carpio, north and west of the Minot area. And these roads are reported to be icy with rain that's likely freezing in some of our northwest North Dakota counties. Montana roads, let's check on the big sky country of Montana. And there's a lot of north-south routes that have been closed today because of those gusts over 100 miles per hour. So keep that in mind as well. So Montana, where you see the yellow here, we have some very tricky road conditions. A lot of asterisks there telling me that we have some alerts going on in the area. The exclamation points tell me that we've got incidents and road blockages across Montana. Notice they're mostly on the north-south routes. So north-south, you get that crosswind coming out of the west. It's toppling tractor trailers and blocking roads in all likelihood. Okay, we don't have a lot of reports of huge snow amounts, although just west of Glasgow, we're seeing some pink on there, which means icy patches on Highway 2 west of Glasgow, Montana. Get down towards Roundup, and we got an asterisk there. Let's see what's going on. We got us an incident. Remember, you can get all of this on hutchesweather.com, brought to you by OK Tire Stores. It's the road report and road conditions report all for you. So keep that in mind as you're perusing, whether it's the app or hutchesweather.com. You can get all of this information at your fingertips, including those power outages. So with 90-mile-per-hour gusts, do we have power outages in the great state of Montana? Let's see what's going on with those as we take a look at the power outages across the nation. So these areas have power outages across the nation. The red means a lot of power outages going on in Colorado. Look at Washington State, a lot of power outages going on there. So as we zoom in on these particular regions, let's focus on Montana for now. And we've got 78,000 people without power in Montana. And it looks like most of them are up here in the Blaine County area. And we do have Phillips County with quite a number of you without those power. Here's Roosevelt County. As you go in towards the Glasgow area, we're seeing that as well. So significant numbers of people without power where we had those very gusty winds. Where you see the red counties there, that's a huge percentage of the customers without power in those particular areas. So if we take a look at more of the digits, it does say here that we do have about 3,000 to 4,000 people without power. So that is going to be a possibility throughout the event. Becky, Lance, McDaniel, thank you for sharing stars with Hutch. Your support helps me keep growing and going. Don't love the report, but love the reporting. Oh, thank you, Brittany. I appreciate that. I don't like reporting this, and I'm hoping for the best. But as we just looked at with the forecast models there on the snow, it's something to contend with. Now, are we talking snow squalls in this snowstorm? Ethan, that's a great question, but it's a blizzard warning already, which is like an extended snow squall. A snow squall often happens with like a cold front moving through, which we'll have here, but it's short-lived. A squall is a short burst of heavy snow. We're going to have a long burst of heavy snow. So let's not call it a squall. By definition, what we are going to have is a blizzard potential. Now, there could be some squalls with this as this system moves into eastern parts of Minnesota, closer to just the cold front where we're not expecting a lot of snow, and that would qualify as a short-lived burst of snow that could be heavy. Colorado turned off their power at 10 a.m. It's not a power outage. They purposefully turned it off. What? Okay, well, I don't know about that. That's an unconfirmed report, but I do appreciate it. I don't like when people turn off the power. Okay, let's show you another thing on the computer models here on the snowfall amounts. So the question marks are these. What are the uncertainties? This is why you watch Hutch. This is why you ask questions. Number one, the uncertainties are the track of the heaviest snow. How far south will it dipsy-doodle into northern Montana, northern North Dakota, and northern Minnesota from our neighbors up in Canada, in Saskatchewan and Manitoba in particular? Here's what we need to know for tonight. Temperatures are on their way down, but look at this. We're still in the 20s. So the rain that falls overnight in Fargo and Lakes Country could freeze on roads and your deck and your sidewalk and your driveway. So take it easy on the way out the door. Don't be in a rush. The wind and the snow will just be getting started here in the valley, and it will be going pretty strong up near our northern counties up to the north. And there is that blizzard warning. It does include Fargo. It does include Jamestown and Valley City, all the way up to the international border and northern parts of Minnesota. See the wind gusts 20 to 70 miles per hour in the morning half of the day. In the afternoon, the strongest of the winds are where I have the closer arrows. Here's the low pressure center, ripping winds making their way through parts of Minnesota. Because of the trees, you will not see as strong of wind gusts in the state of Minnesota. The snow will be still intense along the northern tier, but it will be exiting much of North Dakota and heading into parts of central Minnesota and eastern Minnesota and quickly exit thereafter. There was an article today about Xcel shutting off the power due to damaging winds to help save the power. Jessica, thank you very much. I did not see that article, but that's not a bad idea so that we don't get more and more, I guess, blown transformers. That's a really smart idea. Turned it off because of the fire warning too. Oh, and that's another good reason, because if you get arcs and sparks and it's dry, that's not good. Quickly, 7-day planner, and then I'm going to go into a deeper dive on the snowfall potential. Here we got temperatures that'll be dropping throughout the day. We start out at 21. We're on our way to 2 below. Blizzard conditions. I have a 1/2 inch, quickly ramping up to 3 inches north of Fargo. That's my forecast for now, and I'm sticking to it. Grand Forks, on the other hand, you're going to be closer to the 2 inches, quickly ramping up to 7 to 9 inches near the international border. Will that storm slip south? I will know more on that here as we go through the next few hours. 17 below, wind chills 40 below overnight. You do not want to travel as you go from Thursday into Friday as well. And even overnight tomorrow night, or tonight into tomorrow morning, rather, that's going to be very cold. Cold weather with us on the purple days for Friday and Saturday. A little warm up on your Saturday, but then we're right back in the deep freeze early next week, the week of the Christmas holiday. And hey, how about this? Snow far north on Tuesday as another weather wiggle works its way through, but we're kissing 30 degrees there as we head into Christmas Eve. So that's a look at that. How much snow is expected for the Arrowhead region north of the North Shore? Okay, good questions. Good evening, Simon from Duluth. That is confirmed, Joy says. I was talking to the sister in Colorado, and she went on a drive through and was told no good because their power was shut off. Joy, thank you for that. That sounds right. It's not often you get 100+ mile-per-hour winds, but if you're familiar with Colorado, Highway 36 between Boulder and Denver and the Broomfield area is just famous. Rocky Flats for 100 to 115 mile-per-hour gusts, and that's what's happening. Win EMAC School is e-learning tomorrow. Katie, thank you for the update. Thank you very much. Okay, now we're going to take a look at the snow forecast models for a couple of your questions here. We're going to look at high resolution models. We're going to compare a couple this time. So now that we've gone through the forecast and I've got mine up there, let's see what some of these newest models are coming in with. This is called a high resolution rapid refresh model. This model was not the winner in the last winter weather event. It doesn't mean it's always bad though. There are times when this one gets it exactly right. So here's a look at the track of the storm as it goes through the region. Notice it keeps most of the snow in the North Country and up into Lake of the Woods to the Rainy Lake area and the northeast parts of Minnesota in the Arrowhead where you're questioning about. So this model doesn't keep a lot of it, but it keeps most of it along and north of the border. Yes, we get wind. Yes, we get some snow in Fargo, but the majority is north. Yes, we get some snow in Grand Forks, but the majority is north. So keep that in mind on this particular model. How much is it saying? We'll compare compare that in just a second with another tool I'm going to pull up right here for you. Now, moving on to one more model. I don't want to confuse us with too many, but I do want to show you why we still have uncertainties even at this time of the day. Here's another one that has a snowfall, rain making its way in tonight as we go through 10 o'clock in Fargo, snow north of the border. Here's the big winds wrapping around the back door. You see this eyeball here? That's another low pressure center. Here's another one. It's like an owl. Whoo! There's the big nose. Whoo! All right. Big winds on the backside of that secondary low moving through, and then boom. Notice most of the snow north of the border. Here's 6 a.m. Not a lot of snow in Grand Forks or Fargo yet. And then it kind of drags a narrow band through the region as we go through. That's kind of how I see this system panning out in my mind because of the dry air north of the border. But you're going to get a lot of snow tonight up there in the Winkler to Winnipeg areas. One more model to show you that you know what? Let's use this. See if I got this. Dun, dun, dun. I'm going to load this up. Okay, here we go. This is a blend of models from the National Weather Service. What they're doing is smoothing it, blending the models, and coming up with an average, and this is what it looks like. Okay, so as we go into our day on Thursday, I know it says Wednesday up here, but as we go through, this system sags some snow down 4 to 6 inches or more along the border, which is pretty close match to what Hutch had, and about 1/3 of an inch to 2 inches in Fargo is what it has. So that's the current thinking. You've seen it all with me. Here's Hutch's take. I think the heaviest snow will be along and north of Highway 2 still. Grand Forks, you're in that uncertainty zone where we do think that there could be a little bit more potential for snow in your area. That's it. That's what I have. Remember, this storm system is creating some ridiculous winds, and we can expect some 60 to 70 mile per hour gusts here in the valley, lower amounts slightly in Minnesota. And in western and central North Dakota, there's going to be some 70 to 90 mile per hour gusts in those areas the way it looks right now. Good evening, Cheryl. Thanks for joining me. Coming up here in a bit at 9 p.m., would you please join me and pass the word? I have another exciting announcement coming, so we'll do that tonight. But that is a look at the big storm with this comprehensive outlook on what's going on across the nation. We can see the impact of this huge storm as we look across the nation on the radar. All of these are wind gust reports. Wyoming, Colorado, Montana, Utah, Idaho, all seeing strong gusts. It's now pushing into the Black Hills and western parts of North Dakota now, and that is what we're seeing. So also, how bad will the wind be around the North Shore? We're really bad here last night. Okay, Mitchell, thank you for your question. Yes, we're going to have some pretty terrible winds as it moves through. Early in the day, it'll come out of the east. As we get into the late hours of the day tomorrow is when the strongest of the winds get to your area. It's going to come out of the east, but when they start becoming more northeast, that's when you are going to see the stronger winds. Thank you very much for the private message there, Red Rooster. I appreciate that. I may not have time in the middle of this broadcast to get to it. Now, if you're out and about and you have Hutch's weather app downloaded on your phone, or you go to hutchesweather.com, I want you to upload what's going on in your area. So let's take a look at the photos that have been uploaded today. There's been a lot of dandies out there, and we do have some rain that was reported out here. So let's go ahead and take a look at what's been reported. A couple of fun things. Let's start with fun, shall we? Thief River Falls. Let's see if I can reload this up. Oh boy, where are my... let's go to the viewer picks here. I think it's acting up on me. Let's just go here. Okay, so if we go to the viewer photos by scrolling down on this page, my apologies there, something with my network connection wasn't working quite right. So if I go down a little bit, you're going to see where you can upload your photos or view the gallery. Let's view the gallery together, and we're going to see some pictures that were uploaded today. Thank you so much, Froda, for sharing this. This is rain that was falling, and this is right now at the start of the system in Rugby, North Dakota. So that is standing water in Rugby as we take a look at that site right now. Tina and Valley City. Wow. You see, those are a little bit of light pillar action going on there from ice crystals in those clouds. Beautiful scene as the calm before the storm. And a lot going on in Thief River Falls because it looks like we had the holiday spirit passing through town as well. And it does look like we are having a little problem with that one video loading up, but that's what's going on there. So my apologies to all of you for that. Thank you for the hard work from Middle River. Thank you very much for supporting me through contributions and stars. 38 in Cullum right now on the edge of the weather. Streets won't take long to get freezing, so let's hope we have a chance to dry those streets off before the icy air gets here. For some areas, that's just simply not going to happen. Thank you very much for being a part of Hutch's Weather. Remember, big announcement coming at 9 o'clock. We're going to touch up the forecast, talk a little bit more about snow, but most of it along the international border. Blizzard warning is in effect for our northern counties, all of northern North Dakota. It does include Fargo. It does include Grand Forks. It does include Valley City and Jamestown. I'll zoom you in just a little bit closer here so you can see the areas impacted by the blizzard warning. Red Lake Falls, Thief River Falls. This is a winter storm warning. Blizzard warning in pink, winter storm warning for Lake of the Woods County, as well as northern parts of Beltrami County in the Red Lake area. Blue, that's a winter weather advisory. Very little snowfall expected in these areas, but we will have a chance at seeing gusty wind and blowing snow and periods of whiteout conditions when the snow is happening in particular. So blizzard warning, don't travel if you don't need to. An update coming your way here in just a little bit with a special announcement.
This has been a Hutch's Weather Update with Chief Meteorologist
Hutch Johnson. Follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Wait, you forgot the new app?
You're right! I did! Don't forget to download!